Why this is exactly is anybody's guess. Could just be a coincidence, glitch in the
I
matrix.
wonder. Probably because Chris and Joanna did not do their clearing for the interview, at least
Yeah.
not with us.
Where were we? So satellite dark. I think Darknet might have triggered it. Who knows? Skynet and all the monkey business that Elon Musk and the likes of Bill Gates and others are up to, as far as you know, basically imposing their mind control agenda, and that's really what the term. I don't know if our guests are aware of this, quite possibly, but government itself, if you break it down, means simply that: mind control, gubermente, from the Latin. So
it's not new. I think people think it's only brand new, but it's not. This really, one of the things we try to point out is this actually officially got cut on, let's say, and not to the extreme it is now, but it started in the 1960s. We always tell people it was really started from the Unisphere at the 1964 World's Fair. And so, that this type of tech to start in, making impression upon people's energetic fields to make them more malleable and different things. It actually has been going on for a long time. What's happened recently, of course, is the ability, think of it as like, the frog sitting in the pan, and the temperature slowly turned up and slowly turned up over time. And really, since probably these last few years, it's been really turned up. But it's not just something that has occurred right at this moment in these last 5 years. It's something that cut on quite a few years ago and has been slowly increased, and now just kind of a little exponentially increased.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. Full spectrum dominance, I think, is what we often talk about here. Just as well within the context of things hitting us from all sides, frankly, the education system, the media, big pharma, the water supply, our air, and so on and so forth. It's just endless, It's just right down to every last little nanoparticulate. I would argue, however, that does not mean that all is futile. Rather, that we've this prison planet agenda, and the fact that this Earth is not our home, and that we should not be all that attached ultimately to our mortal existence, and then what we have as our identity as humans, to more clearly understand that it's all quite transient and impermanent, and we're just here, we're passing through. So, but I would, I don't know what more either of you have to add to that, perhaps, but that as you say, like this, the vibration is so critical, and the heart. That was one of the notes I think I made in the before going live here, was something regarding the power of the heart. Were you aware that the ancient Egyptians, they would extract the brains during mummification process of people? The brain, the entrails would be discarded, but the heart would be wrapped and mummified, saved.
Yes, because the particular energy that emanates from the heart. I came to find out very recently, to add to this conversation. There was a friend of mine and I that he asked a question the other day, in fact, about heart attacks and heart conditions and things of this nature, what that actually looks like on an energetic level. And to me, and people's energetic cores look like water movement. And if there's a blockage, of course, it's like a rock in a stream. If there's an attachment, or if there's a demon, or what have you. In this instance, though, he was asking about heart attacks in particular. He felt, they had it completely wrong as to why heart attacks took place. And I was like, okay. He posed this question to the Galactics, and I said, okay, we'll just do this. Came to find out that it is actually just one frequency change over another. The heart is actually moving more frequencies as it moves the blood. So what is causing the blockages, ultimately the physical manifestations, are the frequencies that are slower moving and more sluggish, and that's what's causing a lot of the plaque blockages and things of that nature. So if you rev up the frequency, you therefore can prevent any of these particular health conditions. And it was basically that simple. You have, people call it higher and lower frequencies. It's really faster, slower, and things that are moving faster or slower. Now, that doesn't always negate the fact that something negative could try to do something in a faster moving frequency, given enough protection on their part. But in negating that, that's what we found, that the heart was actually moving a lot of that energy movement around, and that's why it was such a centrist for people like the Egyptians, for instance.
Yeah, it's a real mystery, the heart and the within
well,
the
let me tell
context
you
of
one interesting
creation.
fact that for your audience to
Sure.
consider. The one thing that we always say, because you're talking about Egypt, so let's talk about the heart and the feather. So this is very important for people to understand. We are very much co-creative beings, but over the centuries, we have been utilized to co-create for someone else's purpose. And so one of the things now within this expansion is to learn how to co-create for what you want. One of the biggest areas that they try to use is, of course, fear. Fear will get you to co-create inappropriately, let's say, for yourself. But I love the heart and the feather, because most people know, well, there's no logic behind the fact that, your heart is as light as a feather. And in the Egyptian times, it was like, and if it's not, then guess what? You're heading back towards reincarnation. You're going to have to do it all over again, which again, we talk about a false reincarnation grid. So it's one of those things, again, that back in the past, people bought into that belief system. And so people, in a sense, agreed to a false reincarnation. We call it the wash, rinse, and repeat cycle, okay? Which people would get into this reincarnation loop of, again, poor manifestation of their energies being loosed, things like that, because there was a lack of understanding of what it means to be a co-creative being and how to co-create effectively versus how people get you to co-create for their purposes. A current day example of that would be the news. And right now, again, the news is always talking about war, war, war. And so what will happen is people get beat down, and then they'll start thinking to themselves, well, I guess there's going to be a war. And that then lends the energy for a war to occur, versus saying, oh no, there will not be a war, and there will not be a war because I said so. I will not lend my energies to a war. And so right now, one of the great things that's going around current present moment on the news lately has been this attempt to talk about, you'll hear the word nuclear all the time. For example, the Democrats have gone nuclear over this conversation. When you start to see certain words used over and over, what it is it's an attempt to try to utilize co-creativity from people listening to say, wow, I guess things are going nuclear. Even if it's not technically what it means, but they don't play by the rules nice. And so you hear things like that, your response, people should be talking back to the news and saying, oh, no, there will not be anything nuclear going on, because it's a very subtle way of getting people to revolve around again. The other one is it's my way or the highway, all the infighting. That's not, of course, the way it used to be. It certainly is the way now. And people need to say, absolutely not. We are going to find a way to have common ground. We are going to find a way to get along. So you have to understand how the manipulation occurs, and it happens all around us. so that you cannot lend your energies toward that. And you can say, absolutely not. It's not going to be that way. There's been miracles that have happened. I think one, and I don't remember the specifics because I saw it and years ago. Again, this happened to do with the young boys that were playing soccer, and then they went into the cave system, and then all of a sudden the rains came, and the news was saying how it looked so bad that these boys were going to all die in the cave system. A movie was made about it. But what happened? The world responded by saying, absolutely not. We do not want to see these boys killed. And the rains stopped. That's the co-creative skills, again, and the coalescence of that from people around the world uniting, saying, no, this will not occur. So these are kind of those energetic conversations that people have to wrap their mind around. And even if you're like, I don't know if I believe in it, what's the harm in doing it is what I always say. Why don't you that there's something to it and stop falling for these bad co-creations that people are trying to get you to agree to, and again say no a lot and say that is not the world and not the experience that we want anymore.
Thought intention experiments, art back in the old Art Bell days. That's another note that I actually made in the lead up to today's show, and I think in that sense we're somewhat at least on the same sort of wavelength, as it were. And we have tried these thought intention experiments on a couple of occasions, and
Sweet. That's so fun.
It's actually been very effective every time that we've done it. And it's not like we don't do it, we don't like the I Ching. I don't play around with it all that much. Just go to it when it's really urgent, really essential, and see where it leads us, obviously, with the sort of feedback that's able to generate.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For our guest.
Sure.
It kind of goes along with what you were saying, Joanna. What come up for me, and this was also a note before the show, but it has to do with projection, like projecting ideas of how a person is supposed to be. For example, like if you go to someone goes to the doctor and he's like, oh, you have this or that kind of terminal type of illness. And maybe even if the person doesn't, if they believe they do, that kind of works itself out, possibly more so in that direction, just because they're expecting that. But what I'm kind of referring to is the people around you, like expecting, oh, well, Uncle John, he's sick. So, and then they put that energy on the person. And the person, I mean, personally, I can feel when that comes in, and it kind of pisses me off because it's like, get off of me, bro. It's like, what are you doing? So I was wondering if there's any type of, how do you guys deal with stuff like that? I mean, I know that what I usually do is I just kind of energetically cut all cords. I try different things, put myself in fire and just kind of burn all the cord, use gigantic scissors like my grandma used to have and just cut all the etheric cords all over the place. And I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but I find that it really helps me clean off my energy, as well as, put out there, in all space that, only positive beings are allowed in this area, and just be firm about that. That usually helps. But I was wondering if there's anything that you guys could recommend or practices that you have that I know that you can set up maybe automatic things. I've done that before, and that seems to work well. And it depends on how fast, I guess, you can think, is how quick you can do some of these things, because it's just enough to have that intention set and firmly set for that to kind of work, But is there anything else that you guys have that you could comment on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes, and I've had this happen in recent days, very, very recent, where people will like focus on me and send this big beam at me. And some are very, very psionically capable people. And we just did a show on communication hygiene.
Yes, I seen that.
Where if they have junk attached to them, here, this comes like a slip and slide towards you. Now, demons, I just cut their head off. But with everything else, I just kind of put a mirror up in front of it and shut it back and basically deflect it back out. Now, in the case of P2K specifically, what I do with that, like if we're at a talk or something, in 2024 when we did the first conference in Florida, what ended up her mainly, but I've done this too, where you create a different narrative in your head so others think that you're something different than what you are, and they ignore you. And I've done that before too.
Right.
Now, in the case of, like, say, if a bunch of people are asking me something, like if I get, say, 100 people asking me like the same question, let's say, I'll amalgamate it and do that in a Q&A of some kind. But say if they're all focused on me, I can feel all of their eyes in my direction, just like being on the call right now, this being live. I literally can hear, I can feel a bunch of ears
Right.
on this direction. Now that's normal when it comes to a live call.
That is absolutely
very,
right.
very normal. Or at a convention or conference. When it goes beyond that, where it's just this intense, like mental high beam coming at you, that can be one of the most irritating things. Like, especially if you're just going through a healing of some kind, and then I just cover myself with mirrors, or I send it into like the sun and have it burn up. Like if they send demons with them, or if there's like an altar of theirs doing something, I'll inform the person that this is happening.
Right.
Now, if after a few times that they don't start to correct it, I usually end up having to block them, because that usually blocking them on a social media sometimes will symbolize energetically that you're cutting them off, and that tells the brain you are closing the door. It's very important you tell the brain, even though your energy knows it, your intuition knows it, and somewhere up here it knows it. Sometimes you have to write it down in the form of a word, and you have to tell the brain, hey, this is factual, in word form. That usually does it. If you do something visually, social media, you do something visually writing, or my mother created something in the other room she calls a wish box, where you put your manifestation in there and you throw it in there and have a whole group focus on it. It's kind of like the whole Wailing Wall premise, but on small.
Right.
Small
Cool.
yeah. And all those techniques seem to work.
Fantastic. Wow.
Well, even though I hear all of the I don't want to say noise too much, but I'm hearing, that's rude if you say hear the noise of people. That's not what I mean. That falls under that Enlil category. You don't want to do that. But it's you can hear all of the psionics of all the people that are listening, and you can usually gauge the crowd. You can read the room by the amount of like almost like a mean average of what people are kind of either expecting from a conversation, or how can I put this, wanting to hear from a conversation, or things of that nature. And most of the people go into it with either readiness or kind of a bit of an expectation, but they're mostly curious, and that's essentially the majority or mean average. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but I could actually do a brief channeling during this as well.
Whatever you're comfortable
I'd say
with.
that'd be,
Sure.
that'd be great.
Right. Okay. And chances are this is going to be Isaac, but okay. So let me see here. Okay.
And what Chris is doing now, just one thing I want to point out, because we never like to have conversations without having something that people can do and try that usually will make an effect in their life. So one of the important things, we've done shows on what we call the bad effects of good intentions. This falls under it, where people are talking about, somebody's sick or this, that, and the other. But what we try to tell people is you must look at people, and in general, no matter what, if you want to do something for them, wish them their highest good with no conflicting agendas, their highest good. And sometimes, again, a soul is going to experience an illness, is going to, for its own learning purposes, and you can't stop that. But what we're talking about is to get rid of what we refer to as the overage. So people need to, if someone's sick, if something's going on, just look at them and wish them their highest good with no conflicting agendas. And that's the type of energy, again, that will be to their improvement to the best possible.
Right. Very good.
All right. I now can speak now that she has shut up. So this is normally people know exactly who I am, but to the audience that is awaiting with bated breath, I am Isaac. I actually, if you saw me currently, I look sort of like himself, but 7 feet tall and with slightly paler skin. Up until recently, I had a big red beard, but no, I'm partially, you would call tall white and human. If you saw me currently, this is what I would appear as. And I know time is short, so ask away.
Hi, Isaac. So nice to meet you.
Yeah. It's interesting to be on a pirate radio with actual pirates involved. And this, I would say, this is the reason you are drawn to this theme is that you are repetitively pirates over and over again in the past, one right after the other, because this is the one thing that you wanted to do was steal crap. This is exactly what you want to do.
That's funny because I have no interest in stealing anything. It's quite the opposite in this particular lifetime.
Pitatas de Dios. We'll talk more about that later. Well, the thing is, we're back. We have floated this idea in the past that in a former life, many of us were pirates, but this is in conjunction with the pirate Larry, he's now dropped the body, as it were. He's no longer here in the land of the living. But Pitatas de Dios, the pirates of God, we're here on a mission from God and here to redeem ourselves. In with respect to our past transgressions, as pirates are
pirate redemption thing.
They're exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. In this instance, though, in instances in the past, it wasn't just always I was about stealing crap. It was actually about bucking authority in that day as well. Unfair business practices, things of this nature. And also you wanted basically a free pass in life. And now you've gotten this out of your systems and you are doing it more in an energetic way. And you are actually honoring your pirate history. So this center hanging in his workshop. So this is he was actually more of a fellow pirate. He ended up being the one that you know as Jose Gaspar. So this is where he gets that from.
With respect to
you guys are doing it, had multiple pirate lifetimes. So did he, but that times occurred. So this is where the energies are currently at with this live call. There are multiple people out there actually waiting some let's just say divine message or some bit from me, because I am actually sticking to factual information. I am joking, actually.
Hilarious. So yeah, that's really cool. I cannot disagree with that at all. Yeah.
Was it Jose Gaspar that you referenced? Is that right? Did I get the name straight? Who was Jose Gaspar? Not the cat here, of course. The cat's got his own opinions. That's Danny, of course. He's our mascot, three-legged kitty. Can you believe that? On a pirate ship, virtual pirate ship here. These high, often all too intrepid digital seas. So I knew, did you hear the name as I did, or am I not remembering correctly? Or have we lost everybody completely now? What is going on here, folks? Oh, well, look at that. Hang on. This is really quite odd. I think we lost, why did we lose Jitsi? Oh, disconnected. Maybe it's because, I don't know why. Bloody hell, I tell you, I have no idea, folks, why this might be. If it's a loose connection here, or it's an overload on the system. But just from out of the blue, we did lose
that I could maybe get a little closer to and have some more teamwork going on or something. Is there something I'm doing that's preventing that sort of thing? Because every so often I'll get, especially smoking marijuana, I'll get like this super energy that comes in. It's so awesome. And I'm just like, wow, it's like, yeah, bro, but we can't like actually physically hang out. Maybe it's that I'm wanting the physical hanging out part too much or something like that. I don't know. Do you know what I'm kind of saying there?
Yes. The physical hanging out, what is you are wanting is more the open camaraderie part.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, just like how you had as a pirate, you see.
Wow.
In this lifetime, it's not as readily available because the energies are scattering people far too much to the winds, you see. So in different parts of the globe, different parts of the country, etc. Therefore, he acts the same way, wants a particular camaraderie with particular souls, but yet they're scattered to the four corners of the globe. And so this was by design. And by that design is why you are in this limbo period.
It seems like it, yeah. I'd say that, yeah.
Yes. And also, I could have made a lewd comment when she said she wanted dudes around her, but
yeah. Well, you know, I mean, that actually, I'm looking for my soulmate. I have been for a while. Jaffe's witness to that. He teases me about it all the time. So there's that. And where's this dude? He's like super late. And I'm kind of like, you know, how long is how long you to sit at the coffee shop and wait? You know what I'm saying?
Pirates wait for no man. They just go and steal things. So this, so in this instance, you come in and you actually manifest that path. This is that version of blazing your own path. You see, it goes back to that manifestation and also clearing your own junk that is not needed in the here and now. You claim this path, reground, and therefore you are on a timeline and a course direction and or basically a collision course with whomever this happens to be.
Sweet.
Patience is a virtue. Virtue, its own reward.
Oh my gosh. How many different sections of patience are there? There's lots.
So, you know, spend some time daydreaming it in. We always say go to the end and daydream it in. So, you know, we always tell people, please don't think it has to be this particular person. What you want to do is you want to look at your life and you want to say, well, what am I doing with this person? What are we doing in the kitchen? Are we laughing? What are we talking about? You get details about the life that you want to live, basically, to be able to start manifesting that. What are you laughing about if that's what you want to do? If you want to be out adventurous, what are you doing? What does that feel like? What does it feel like around you? So, you know, start thinking about, again, go to the end and spend time every day thinking, what does that look like, taste like, feel like? Do not insert a particular person. What does the relationship look like? And then spend some time doing that to kind of daydream that into existence.
Sonia, when she just made
I'm searching all the time, because if you're searching all the time, then you're going to be searching all the time.
She made great
Right,
point
sure.
about what feeling, touching. I don't know if she said tasting, but inserting. It got me thinking. When in times of desperation, there always are. There always is the quartzite penis option. Don't forget that, Sonia. So keep that in mind.
I was actually being PG-13 until someone else brought this up, because I was thinking, what the hell are they doing in the kitchen and what were they inserting?
Was that? I'm sorry. That's a callback. That's a callback. Yeah, that's a callback. I think to the pre-show end of things. So is that one of your products, or was that something that you came across during one of these psychic fairs? Not yet. I see. You'll have to contact Rabbi Shmuley, I suppose, maybe for that, and work on developing things a little further. So, well, we've got about just a few minutes here, Sonia. So why don't you have at it? I'll check the chat end of things.
Really, ever since Jaffe has invited me on here to help him out with this whole thing, I found that I really kind of have a knack for it, and I really kind of enjoy it. I think it's great. And there's a lot of things that I would probably like to do, different, or explore different ways of doing shows. Like, so I was thinking that, do you think that might be a good idea from your etheric point of view?
Yes, actually, that is a very good idea. Given the fact you are tapping me etherically not to make sexual innuendos anymore, I will actually just be serious about this. In this instance, I would say absolutely yes. Do a podcast, do a show, do any of these things to actually get yourself out there. This would be also a very serious way of actually finding this particular individual. If they don't even if they do not hear this particular show, you put yourself out there as, say, this pirate winch that's out there. Let's just I'm not giving you any ideas. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nod. But in this instance, have that theme maybe, but have it in more wrapped in a energetic purpose in that way.
Yes.
Tarot.
That makes a lot of sense.
She's got great tarot skills. Yeah, that would be one angle.
Not really into doing. I don't know. It's kind of
Your readings with us.
And they're popular right now. So.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
Well,
I want to do something different.
David Wilkes, thanks for dropping by, David. We've only got a couple minutes, so if you want to bounce any thoughts, comments, questions off our guests, now's the time to do it. Do not hesitate.
Appreciate that.
Isaac, so
thank you.
I'm just going to check the talking points, what we briefly put together here in the lead up to the show, and see. Oh gosh, everything crashed out there. So, but there was things like Indian Eastern non-duality is one of the points that we had set aside here. I believe that earlier, actually, Joanna had mentioned water, and that's really, or maybe it was actually Christopher. Either way, water, vibration, frequency. Nikola Tesla, his bottom line was that if you want to understand the deeper reality to existence, think in terms of vibration and frequency. What might he have known that most people don't stop to reflect upon a little more closely throughout the course of
he was accessing the overall energy by which that knowledge sits in. You see, he was born with a let's just say a brighter bulb, and he came in being able to bring that information in and connect the vibrational dots with that of your current scientific knowledge and information, therefore elevating the current scientific knowledge and information. This is why your governments were actually afraid of it being out there. Mm-hmm. So this is why they confiscated the material. They did not wish it to come out, let's just say, too early, quote unquote. They wanted it to be by their narrative and not by anyone else's.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Control the narrative. One last question, I guess, for our guests regarding, there's a reference to galactic I'm not sure if the term Confederacy was referenced or not, but ourselves as galactic beings, clearly. Have the two of you had any experiences within that context? Have you had any sightings? Anything you care to share with us as far as things that you would
Newsflash: there's three of us here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, all right. Well, the
one
three
unseen and two seen, but well, technically I'm being seen, but and heard too. But yes, there in this instance, yes, I will actually, since there is very little time, I will detach at this moment in time so they can answer it. So I thank you.
So one of the experiences that I had directly happened to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've seen several alien presences very clearly. They're right in front of me. So what we tell people is that there's a lot of effort to go through so that you do not see who's walking on this earth, be it tech, be it something holographic that you're not seeing. But every now and then people can see through it. And one of the and so it's funny because with all of this going on, sometimes you ask, am I crazy? Then I have to go back to, no, this really happened to me kind of scenario. And one of them was simply where I was working in downtown Raleigh, there happened to be a museum that had a great coffee shop. It was around the legislature buildings and different things like that. Went in there one day with the people just to get a cup of coffee, although I don't really drink. But I wanted to go on the walk with them to the building and, talk for a minute. So I went in there, and as they're getting their coffee, I just turned my head and I realized I am staring at a non-human. And so this particular gentleman was shorter than a normal man. His skin was bluish and translucent. You could see right through it. His hair was white and short. He had some very sharp features. And I just stood there and looked at him because partly in my mind, I'm going, how come no one else is reacting to this? But I'm calm, cool, collective, and I'm not saying anything. But he turned around and looked at me because he knew that I knew. And so I never seen a person leave so quickly in my life and left, unfortunately, was walking towards the legislature building. So, but there are definitely non-humans walking on this earth. One of the greatest places we joke, if you want to try to see somebody, is, believe it or not, Salem, Massachusetts around Halloween. So they come, they visit, they're there. And, there's been a few other experiences that Chris and I have had individually and everything, but believe me, they are here.
Right.
All right. Well, there we go.
Don't doubt that at all.
Okay. It's unfortunate we don't have more time to delve further into this particular area of conversation and more. But Sonia, I'll leave the last word to you, I suppose. Anything that you'd like to? Sweet. How'd you like to cap things off here with the?
I would just say thanks, guys, for coming on. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. And I recommend your t-shirts and your services to everyone. And if you want to just tell everybody once again where to find you and anything like specials you have going on or whatever you want to put out there before we close.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The main hub where everybody can find us is thelifting.net and also our sister site, gic.show. gic.show is our galactic historical material. The lifting is for services and affiliates and how to contact me for my services and cleansings. So also there's a link on there to shirts you actually made for us, Sonia.
Yeah.
There's a link directly on there as well in the more category on there.
And we have lots of shows. When they go there, they're going to, if they just scour, they're going to see
on
tons
YouTube,
and tons
YouTube
of
and Rumble
conversations that we've had.
Yeah, great ones too. It's you guys go at least an hour usually into a topic or another. It's just it's great. It's almost like just getting to hang out with you guys whenever you put your videos up. So keep going.
Yeah,
thank you.
For sure.
And thank you to the two of you, Chris and Joanna. We'll let you. Hopefully, you're able to find your way to the door. We will be sure to share the archived end of things here via Rumble. What else really? BitChute, of course, and Odyssey. As far as YouTube and Facebook, we'll just have to wait and see if how that all plays out. If you know, throughout the course of OBS crashing several times,
Sure.
things
If
manage
you
to
want us back,
hold
we'd
themselves
be
together.
happy to come.
Oh.
Yeah, we'd be happy
Oh.
to come back. So, yeah.
Oh,
Great.
we'd be happy to
Fantastic.
host you. So thank you so much, and get
Thank
that
you.
quality sleep that you'll need for your big day tomorrow and your early morning flight. So,
Yeah.
all right, happy sailing.
Okay.
All the best.
So,
Thank you. You guys
Guys.
take care.
bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
That was
Oh,
awesome.
there they go. They
Real cool.
they managed to exit without too much difficulty. Let's just
They're used to
we'll continue on here, Sonia.
Okay.
Kind of a recap, revisitation, first of all, of the conversation we just had. Is there any thoughts, or rather, within the, any comments that talking points that were laid out there that maybe were not covered as fully or as in depth as you would have hoped, or were there any other items that we missed out on because of
the
time constraints, I guess, mostly?
I was just, the only thing that deep that I had, or actually it's not very deep, but it had to do with, I was just going to see what their thoughts were on boiling vinegar in your yard. It's supposed to act like a tower buster and clear the skies above you. So I was
Wow.
just going to see if there was what they thought about that.
Hmm.
I haven't tried that, but apparently if you throw some vinegar
Hmm.
in a pot on your barbecue and you have a bunch of chemtrails up there, the chemtrails, like the sky opens up and they disappear.
Mhm.
So I find that quite interesting, and that would be great if that actually does work. I don't know how much vinegar you got to boil, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's really all I had for that, and the whole pirate thing. I think we both kind of knew that, whole scenario. We've talked about that a few times. So yeah, and I think that it's the camaraderie thing that I'm really after when it comes to like the soulmate thing or whatever. So that really kind of helped. I was already kind of thinking that recently, but that really kind of helped kind of clear it up a little bit more for me. I think that's probably the main thing.
In a sense of visualizing your partner, the ideal that you have in mind being there with you, and as you go about your daily routine, is that right? And working together as a team?
Maybe just the energy with me, kind of thing. Yeah, that type of energy.
Male, yang.
Definitely yang. Made me some yang, baby.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Not sure how much the quartzite penis is able to deliver.
No, I'm good on that whole thing for sure. But let me ask you: have you ever noticed yourself being a guy? And I don't know that I've ever even asked a guy about this, but when you are near a woman, a feminine woman, do you feel more masculine? Does it like bring out masculinity in you? Do you think? Have you noticed? Because it certainly does to me. I feel very feminine when there's a masculine guy around me. Like,
really,
not just the soy kind of
okay.
thing
So
going on, but
so you want to kind of find yourself entering into a more submissive mode.
I wouldn't.
Something like that?
Maybe you could see it that way. I guess it all depends on how you look at it.
Right.
But yeah, just overall feeling like more feminine, like more I wouldn't necessarily say dainty or anything like that, because there's still the powerful thing there, but it's just more, I guess it would be more of a submissive thing. I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, that's a good question, and that's really great, because maybe there's some women who they're expecting the man to step up and play their part, of course, and just look at the way nature is with the male dominating, in a relationship, sexually in particular, like mounting, generally, their female counterparts. So, I mean, there's a lot of poetry to that, very symbolic and very just the way nature operates. That's profound. It's profound and deep. No pun
You can't get
intended.
past mounting.
And deep.
Stuck in the mounting.
Yeah, yeah. Or insertion, I guess, as Joanna put
Right,
it.
right. Yeah, which is hilarious.
The core.
Yeah, that Isaac guy that he channels, it's kind of like his buddy. Or
Okay, so this is a Viking, a tall red-headed Viking named Isaac.
He's a tall white. I don't know that he's a Viking, but he's a tall white, which I guess is a particular ET species, or more so of that.
Sounds kind of racist to me, so I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess because they're very pale.
You can't have what?
Yeah,
you can't have whites.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But he's kind of a smart ass.
Now how he would that was smart ass indeed, but very entertaining.
Certainly.
Whatever the case. So
almost like Roger.
Yeah, I wonder.
Hi, Roger.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger has a darker side to.
He's got like a narrower focus, I think, on things a little bit. But
Roger?
then again, I'm sure. Yeah.
As he said in the chat earlier, he's a bad boy.
Yeah, because it's kind of geared in that area.
Spank me, mommy. I've been a bad boy.
I've been a bad boy. Yeah.
Spank me. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So okay, well, I really don't know what's been taking place here with the OBS. If it's got to do with the, I tried to shut down everything that we're not using. Something along those lines.
Comes right back.
Kind of, yeah, but I got my fingers crossed. Wow, so
that's crazy.
Well, it could maybe because I should have. We have to reboot the computer, perhaps, or what have you. But also, this has got me thinking more than ever. I did try the other day to get Linux installed on the other device, the machine here, the desktop that we have. That would definitely help in a big way. We wouldn't have to use the browsers that we have here. We could just sort of you have the monitor end of things set up on the other computer. Got to talk to Mark Edworthy, who we haven't seen too much of as of late. He did have that one, and Mark did offer his services, actually, saying that he would help out in getting Linux.
I did an interview with Roger recently. He interviewed me about tattoos, and Mark was actually there. He was kind of, with me the whole time in the interview.
When was this exactly?
It was a couple hours. It was when you were gone. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a week ago. Or
I see. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Last Friday, I think.
Did he have some sort of run-in with some character that somebody, not one of the regulars, but
I don't know.
Somebody
I didn't hear about that.
Somebody just kind of rubbed him the wrong way. My sense was, and just roasting is okay as far as I'm concerned. Roasting and busting somebody's balls, but you got to make sure that you're doing it in a way where they understand that you're being quite playful and it's not to be taken in a serious.
We're not like a dick, really.
Right.
You're not an asshole.
But this, so I'd have to go back and check out what I think it was on another show, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody else, maybe Rogers or whoever. So, but we're
Roger
gonna be.
Would know, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be back with the news here. Of course, this coming Tuesday. It's trying to keep a regular schedule as possible with that end of things. 8 p.m. out on the West Coast, 11 on the East, 12 p.m. noon Wednesdays, of course, here via the Seoul and Tokyo part of the world is what we're looking at here, obviously. Right. So, but you're
there's also the addition to the website.
Oh my God! Yeah, thank you for reminding. Yeah, let's bring that up right now if we could. Sure. We will do that and take a look. Hopefully, the Chrome browser here has the lightest. The stress that it places on our device here. It won't overload itself. So, we got terrible SEO results as well. You type in Wprpn and it's kind of hard to find us. It really
Yeah,
is.
I think it's because
terrible.
of the acronym. It's
Well, no, it's because
adding.
the search engine optimization is crap. And that's something
Well,
another.
I don't
Well,
have any
been that way for
SEO, and you put
years.
in Sonia Galactic, and it's like I'm all over the place, and I have nothing set up on my website for that. So I think that
We're
uh,
getting screwed. Somebody's out to get
I,
us.
I think that the SEO thing is. I mean, sure, I'm
Look
sure
at
there's
this. Registered Practical
validation.
Nurses Association of Ontario. This crap keeps coming up. For
Yeah.
and this is WPRPN.com. Let's put this on. Let's see if we can put this. Oh God, we have a cat
Yeah.
who's going after the. Oh my God, they're going
Not a
after.
cat.
Yeah, they're going after the cord. Mandu, stop that! Look at him, this little bastard. Hey, you're out of control,
Damn.
dude.
You're
Slow
off.
down. You want me to cut your claws? You want me to trim those claws?
Ooh,
I will.
That's a threat.
I will trim your claws. Mandu,
Threat.
you're a little. He's the naughtiest little bugger. Oh, now he's kangarooing. The kangaroo kick. He's got that shit going on. Stop it, Mandu. Okay, here we go. Take him by the scruff and say adios. Gatos adios.
And is that a Google search you're doing there?
Yahoo, and it's crap, man. It's like, look at this, WPRPN.com, Registered Practical Nurses Association. This comes up routinely.
Yeah.
Look at this, nothing.
Yeah.
There's the first thing. It's way the hell down. Screw Google. But anyways, look, we're just going to try to type it in at the top here and take it from there. What else were we going to remind people of? Okay, there's some
and the new part of the website.
Upcoming schedule as well. We have the Van Morrison 80th anniversary. It's his birthday celebration. It's quite a milestone for the Belfast cowboy, the man Morrison. And be sure to check that out on the 29th is what people will be looking at. This is the 30th here via Tokyo and Seoul, 12 noon.
And then next Friday we have Coley coming.
She's back, is she?
Yep, she's back. That's gonna figure something out this time and get her on.
The 22nd. And let's hope that the OBS is we're gonna have to do a few test runs here before that, of course, because we don't want to eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
As they say.
I mean,
once again.
I'm kind of good on that.
Oh, I was gonna eating a bag of dicks.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I don't want it. It's too much TMI.
Exactly. Well, you brought it up.
So, oh God. But look, hey. Member sites login. We don't have something happened with registering.
You're not on the new website. This is your old website. I didn't.
Well, you can't register off of this anymore, right? Where's the registering?
You got to go into the new website.
So that nobody knows. Oh, check out our new forum website. Is that where you go?
Yes, that's it.
All right. So
you just gotta go back
Who are those?
home.
Who are those scruffy looking dudes?
Yours.
So what can you tell us about this? We got the snazzy.
That I cannot. I can tell you that is your old website that I did not do anything to. I'm letting you have your old stuff that you want. So I just kind of added to what you already had so that you can save all those types of things.
So there's a community that you've put together here as well.
Yes, a little community. And I don't know, it's kind of cool if anybody wants to.
So it's like a forum, essentially.
Yeah.
You if you're really that hard up and desperate, you can always marry a pirate ghost.
I'm good. I'd rather marry. If we're talking the marriage thing, which I don't, that's kind of a mundane issue, but it would have to be someone who's like physical.
How about hand fasting? No marriage with hand fasting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the same thing. Yeah, that'd be fine. Sure.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if there was supposed to be some sort of a ritual celebration, isn't it cute?
Yeah, it's nice. So, okay, that's great. So
I should go ahead and post my resume up there, huh?
You probably. That would be a good idea. That's right.
Should open it up.
I know. And this, even though it doesn't really work in our favor that much because it'll be taking up a lot more of your time, making it less available. But yeah, your own potential show live stream with you'd have to be doing
Oh, maybe
promoting your
it'd have to
Galactic
be
Fire
once I get on the road,
Pharaoh.
type of thing. And I am going to be redoing my website. I'm going to devote some time to myself here after I've helped everyone else. DK's next in line. I got to get him up a website, and then I'm going to be rolling on Galactic Fire, and looks like Vegas and then Texas is where we're gonna be going.
What's the schedule
I'm
looking like then on that front? What can people expect?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say hopefully around September. I should be able to at least head up to Vegas. I would have liked to go to the Alien event that's going on there to vend T-shirts. Oh, that would be great. But their booths are $500, which is actually a discounted price. But there's so many people going there that it's a really big one to start with.
Jeez.
But I don't know that I'll be able to make that one.
It's like a 3-day event.
But yeah, and it's the 12th of September. So, and my birthday's the 10th. So there you go. It'd be a great birthday present. Just saying.
All right.
Anyone out there want to, donate?
Good it wasn't the 11th.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not sure. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if we'll be revisiting that this year or not. What has it been? 24 years now. So, I mean, that's annually. That's typically when we take time to mark either the September, take time to reflect upon and discuss the September 11th attacks, who benefited. It's these crimes, right? Like I was talking to with the wife last night, just basic detective work, not September 11th per se, but just how with crimes, who benefits, but the motive, the means, and the opportunity. And then so much that came out, of course, where you can clearly see Israel's fingerprints all over it, with the Mossad. Like it's kind of almost, you could almost make an argument that it was kind of sloppy, really. And then the cover up, of course, right? And that's always something that you find with, any conspiracy, orchestrated typically at the highest levels, and you got multiple rogue elements within these agencies involved. It's usually not the rank and file members, although they could be recruited in a compartmentalized fashion and then readily disposed of without too much difficulty, if that was thought. It happens all too often, unfortunately, people that get involved in that sort of nonsense. So but yeah, September 11th, and just the whole area and realm of conspiracy, as how it historically, how seems like with the politics.
There used to be a lot of really cool information about 9/11 on archive.org.
Oh, right. What happened?
Where there's a timeline set up, with all the news shows that came on, and timeline that they were, kind of in.
What happened?
And it's just really interesting information, the way that they had set it up. They had one at archive.org, a really cool 9/11 timeline, but I haven't seen that in a while, but I haven't looked. So there might still be something pretty amazing there. Yeah. It really kind of puts in perspective, all the BS that was going out,
Zane Ivey dropping in here at the tail end of things. Gary Anderson saying that it takes a huge listenership. I'm not sure within what context exactly he's referring to that, but that's someone that he himself, I'd like to invite onto the show as a guest. Gary was actually pretty tight with Art Bell back in the days, believe it or not. So he would make for a really interesting guest. Let's do take note of that. I'm not sure if I already sent you his contact information or not. Sonia, but
I don't know. You just go ahead and shoot it over again.
and then it sounds like anti-Semitism is what Zane says there. So don't get me started on that whole term. I basically, Chat GPT. You never. Can anyone out there guess who runs Chat GPT? Who sits on the board of directors at the highest levels? All the usual suspects. We'll leave it at that. So within the context of it's a limited hangout is what it is. That's why you have to prompt like ChatGPT again and push and press and dig deeper. And then it's like, oh, its response, oh, that's right. Thank you for that clarification. It's like, that's correct.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point. We didn't mention it the first time around, but I guess,
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Yeah. We failed to do our job, but glad to see that somebody is. So
yes,
it's a limited hangout. So they offer basically limited information and insight, frankly. And it's kind of like the way Wikipedia operates, and so much across the board is, within the more general media sphere. Unfortunately, they playing the role of the gatekeepers. They set the agenda, and the gatekeeping function is institutionalized, and that's why, we see this endless gaslighting, whether it's the phony man-made carbon-based climate change agenda that's talked about so frequently, and that all goes back to the Club of Rome, the Rockefellers Club of Rome. And if you want to do your homework,
so overdone.
That's right. Wow. And then the man-made kill shots, which people, were getting deplatformed for, and probably still are to some degree, but it seems that sort of shifted a little bit as of late. It's funny the way these things work. The wind is Sonia, but yeah, thank you so much for recommending our two guests, Christopher and Joanna, and thank you so much for the work that you've been, dedicating yourself to in support of WPRPN.com, World Pirate Radio Podcast Network. Great job there. And how difficult is it now for people to sign up to the new site as compared to the old one? It's
actually probably pretty easy. I actually didn't get to test it out too much because I was always signed in when I was working on it. So why don't we, when we're kind of got nothing else going on, which might, be far and few between or whatever, but go over and just sign up with some random kind of come in name, and see how it works. We'll have to kind of test it out,
Get busy helping out, contributing to the forum, just adding links and stories of interest,
stuff like that.
Encourage our listeners to do that. That's right.
And give us some feedback if there's an issue with anything. Just shoot Jeffy a contact on the contact page.
Pirate1Radio@protonmail.com for any guest suggestions, show ideas, or the PayPal support, of course, which let's remind people that whether it's the purchase of merchandise, the PayPal, the Patreon, which speaking of which, Patreon, you can connect with us over there for free, and then from there decide whether or not you'd like to pledge your support on a per item basis. Completely up to you, but and digital support and the whole lot. Half of everything that we do manage to generate goes directly back to charity. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Hello.
Right.
You got to give back to the people, of course. And I just wish that more of the established, social media outlets, even though it's interesting, I find them like picking up on things that we do talk about here finally, like the whole Epstein business, and as the man-made climate change, the kill shots, but war on humanity and so forth, that via the digital underground, well, there's so many shows, of course, too, but we all, even though we are many of us small in stature and don't necessarily have the reach of the Tim Pools or Alex Jones or Candace Owens of the world, that
Right.
there are people out there listening. And even today, what was it that Christopher, I didn't mention Monkey Mind. I was going to do that, with the V2K voice of skull, and the chatterbox end of they called
Yep.
the mouth
The
or
mouth.
something. Yeah, wow.
Mhm.
Monkey
Yep.
Mind.
I call it the scenario maker, where these ideas come in and kind of make this whole scenario around whatever it is you got going
Hmm.
on, and all you're doing is like washing your hands at the sink, and you're like,
Mm.
why do we have this big scenario
Well,
about something that didn't even
yeah.
happen?
Well, yeah, because so many people
Always negative.
we confuse. So many people make the mistake of confusing their kind of the verbal and the internal dialogue that
Yeah.
goes on with who they actually are, and that's
Mhm.
that's a huge misstep, and that we're not educated on. People, we're not taught
Exactly.
to comprehend or to try to. That's why meditation is so critical. We didn't bring that
Yes,
up
I agree.
this go around, but it's
Yeah,
like a meditation,
absolutely.
medication. There's a reason those two words are so similar, and there's a reason
Mhm.
you don't hear more about that via the mainstream media, because they what is it? Something
No.
like 80%. Is it? It's a ridiculous amount of money. They're so corrupt. The big
Mm.
media outlets, Anderson, Vanderbilt, Cooper, and
Mhm.
all of the other Mockingbird assets. Something like 80% at least of these multi-million-dollar contracts they have is derived from big pharma essentially sponsoring them. You know,
Mhm.
Pfizer,
Absolutely.
Moderna, you name it, and that's a major. I mean, conflict of interest. Why don't we hear that term bandied about a little more?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's plenty of that, huh?
So. But as I don't think I finished the point earlier. The gaslighting on every almost every bloody issue that's out there.
Yep.
You name it. Just keep in mind, folks, that the way that with and then they turn around and tell us, they try to lecture us on myths and disinformation, these bastards, as if
Exactly.
they're the
Yeah.
ones
Audacity.
who are not just the moral arbiters, but the sole arbiters of truth.
Right.
And
Mhm. Yeah,
that's once again government and mind control.
it's
So
hilarious.
bottom line
Hilarious.
is, wait a minute, who owns? I mean, my consciousness, my
Right.
and my thought process and so forth, is that do I control my mind, or does someone else? And
Right.
the whole we get into the whole area once again of personal autonomy. The term itself simply means self-naming.
Yeah.
That's all it means, self-naming, as compared to someone else doing the job for you, because I guess people are
Right.
just so either
Used to being
disinterested.
unconscious.
Pardon me.
The people are so used to being unconscious
Yeah,
about things.
speak up a little bit more, Sonia, as we wind up here or wind down, to seeing that
Here we
your
go. Is
levels
that a
are.
little better?
There you go. That's what we're looking
Okay.
for.
That's
There
my
we go.
mic.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, people are so used to being unconscious about everything. Like, well, maybe not everything, but lots of things. I mean, if you think about it, like, so many people are on autopilot. Even, driving is a good example. But even just walking down the street or doing anything really is kind of like, I don't know. I use those times for, I guess, meditation, self-reflection kind of
right.
thing.
Or that we're
You
talking
know,
about when people are spacing out and just kind of, as you say,
spacing out.
autopilot.
Yeah.
What the term
Yeah.
that I came across in university, and it's one of the few things I remember from those days, interestingly, but it's called, it was a psychology class, 101. It's called schema.
Yep.
That's what they refer to it as, schema. So you can look that up
Schema.
if you're interested. People,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's referenced as such. SCHEMA, schema. Couldn't
Hmm.
really tell you who was responsible for coining the term, but
Exactly.
There we go. Yeah, the autopilot schema.
Yeah, I did want to mention before we go, Jeffy,
Mhm.
that on the website there is a bartering section for goods as well as services, things like that. If people would like to
That's
go
great.
and just kind of offer their
Yeah.
services or
Well,
their skills, possibly, or
good stuff.
kind of like what I've done with you here at the, WPRPN. So there's that, as well as the single mingle, and there's also just the hangout kind of section.
Yeah.
So I just wanted people to know about the bartering section as well.
I couldn't thank you
So
enough. You really see, this is what you've done here, like offering skills, bartering. You're one of the few people who's really stepped up to the plate, put your money where your mouth is, or your mouth where the money is. I don't know, take your pick. But
I don't have any money, so I don't know.
but hang on, but that,
kind of thing.
as
Well,
it, but
that's not what it's about, though. Obviously.
well, but hang on, store not your treasures upon the earth, where the thieves and the moths break in, steal, and eat away at. But in heaven, store your treasures in your heart and
In your
heaven.
heart.
Some people call it pie in the sky, but you watch. This life is all so
Well,
short.
what else can you take with you? But
Well, that's right.
things like that.
That's right.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's like the Tao Te Ching, the way of integrity, and that's the one thing that we need to do all we can to guard. Quite. Going back to the autonomy business, and quite seriously, uh, care for and oversee this our integrity. We have to be, because once we compromise that, essentially selling our souls,
Right.
that well, there's implications, obviously. So, hey,
Sure.
speaking of which, have you ever there ever been any attempts to recruit you into the Illuminati?
No. Nope.
There's a
Yeah.
few
I'm not that
instances.
smart, I guess.
Well, no, not that. Yeah, prominent
There's
or
a lot of fakers out there that try and do that, but if you think about it, is the Illuminati just going to send you an email, or just a text
well,
message, or
you never know,
I
man.
mean, come
You
on.
never know. You never
Yeah, I
know.
suppose. I
I mean,
suppose, but
yeah.
yeah, I've seen some folks thinking that has happened and kind of just losing their mind about it. I've
I
seen that
used to
happen
see a
before.
lot on Twitter, where they're their profiles are just nothing but they got a lot of bling and cash
Hmm.
just everywhere, just boasting of how great the deal that they
Yeah,
made with the devil has proven to be. So,
yeah.
but all in
A lot of that
exchange for
psyops.
what? Who knows?
I think
But
it's a psyop
yeah,
kind of
but
thing. For the most part.
we'll leave it at that. So,
Yeah.
but thank you so much. It's been a pleasure
Sure.
reconnecting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are. I don't know how to describe you exactly, other than just say the most positive things in the
Aw,
glowing
thanks.
terms. I thought of you, if it's any of any significance or interest to you. Well, in Canada, I thought of the operations back
Ditto.
here, how it all was going, and how you were doing. I went completely dark, as you may have noticed.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like just nothing from
Like you
Jaffe.
do in between shows. It's not really much different, for
Well,
sure.
well, but here's the thing. Once again, mind control. Like, have you not seen or heard about the way that excess exposure to the interwebs and being plugged in just a little too much can contribute
Sure.
to mental
Plenty of
health
memes out there about that.
problems?
Plenty of memes.
Sure. I
Yeah.
mean, we got to be,
Got to
so
break
that's what.
away, get into
Yeah.
nature, get away from the hubbub of the
Right.
internet kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy doing what we do, but then when the show's done, it's like time to take a break, step away, and just refresh, reset, and reflect,
Yeah.
decompress, and it's that's and then you come back, you're able to return then with sense of reinvigoration.
Zest. With the zest.
There
for
you
it
go.
all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so galacticfire.com.
Yep.
That's your website.
Yep.
Wprpn.com is ours. It's been a heck of a show. I hope we've contributed at least somewhat here to the cosmic lifting. That's really a central theme as far as our operations are concerned, to better amp up, the vibration, and to spread positive
Contribute
energy.
positive.
It's some
Positivity.
real. It is. I do believe that we are here. We are engaged in a form of spiritual warfare, where
Absolutely.
ultimately, I mean, we do have the choice, the freedom to choose, and that's therein lies the. That's why within Freemasonry, for example, they talk about free and accepted. So that people that
Right.
they've, and that to ask one, or to be one, ask one. See, so they have to on their own free will and accord reach out and
Yeah, there's got to be that desire there, kind of thing.
there you go.
The
And
will,
and you're on the hook, as it were. So
You're doing a fascinating job with Chris's book, by the way.
oh yes,
It's very, very cool. Very cool.
the audio book rendition. It's kind of it's a poor man's version of an audio book, but I think it'll more or less it should do the job. And I'm getting a big kick out of those pictures that he has in the printed PDF version. That's pretty, very insightful, and it really kind of adds more legitimacy and credibility to his story. You can kind of see the broader picture and reality as to what he's been sharing with us now for the past.
It's really kind of evolving for him. Things are really going really good for him. It's super awesome.
Well,
I'm so happy to be able to help him with all that.
Hopefully we'll see him on Coast to Coast.
Tons of viewers. So
Agent Truth TV, good stuff.
It's called Age of Truth.
Age of Truth, something like Gaia or.
Not quite. No, they're just a couple of guys out of Denmark that have been doing interviews for a long, long time.
Good stuff.
And they've just got this way about it, and it's a great show. I love that show. Anyway, regardless, but yeah.
There we go with our final crash of OBS for the night. So we'll have to work out the kinks in the system here over the next few days before we launch into this coming Tuesday night's news. So thank you once again, Sonia. We'll talk to you maybe probably later this weekend through email or what have you. So all the best.
Tuesday.
There you go. Happy sailing.
Happy sailing.
Okay. Good night. Bye. All right. So and just as a reminder, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 on the East Coast. David Wilkes, Zane Ivey, Roger Hanson, Sonia. We had the Boundless Authenticity podcast, along with Christian Lattereux, and who else are we looking at there? Gary Anderson, of course, too, who we'd like to put a show together with at some point, discussing his memories, talking about his memories regarding Art Bell, along with the whole realm of ufology and high strangeness, as it were. So looking forward to reconnecting here, folks, in just a couple days with World Pirate Radio News, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 out on the East Coast. On behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas, I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, as always, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally-ho!
Aye now, there we be. Having carefully looked over each of our navigation panel instruments,
checking every level, switch, dial, cable, knob, and pulley, by all accounts and indications, we indeed see it's time, once again, to drop anchor inside Mystic Bay.
draw an end to yet another week of World Pirate Radio Live.
Remember,
If you're looking for a little more animated online action,
keep in mind we've likely got yet another great free-flowing Rogues Gallery after show.
coming up for the next hour in one of our more premium exclusive and remote digital underground online pirate hideaways. Also, if you yourself have a new,
Novel, intriguing, or otherwise underreported idea, unique individual, or pressing item in mind, be sure to either drop us a line directly over on WPRPN.com or fire us a quick email
via Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com.
We're always open to exploring fresh creative suggestions, intriguing guest ideas, cutting-edge discussion topics, and captivating themes.
Remember, WPRPN.com member site subdomain links are also always available.
Great for artists, musicians, podcasters, bloggers, social media personalities,
Or pretty much just any old land lover
looking to boost their online visibility, presence, and reach.
Basic personal profile accounts can be launched for just $60 per year.
Staking your claim now helps not only strengthen you and the network, we're also looking out for the little guy. That's right, folks. As much as half of all WPRPN's profits are redirected right back into the hands of the people who really need it most. Community charity. After all, we are the Robin Hood.
You can further embark on your own personal pirate journey by either liking, sharing,
Commenting on, subscribing to, or just following us via virtually any mainstream social media platform, including Twitter, Facebook,
Gab,
or Minds.com. So don't forget to become engaged. Until we meet again out on the high digital seas, I'm your host as always, the ship's chief communications officer, Jaffe Ryder. Tally-ho.